the impact that you will have on this project, it's not just the Commonwealth, it's going to impact the entire capital region. And so I know that people throughout the nation are in fact looking at this because, this is the nation's capital. We're right in the nation's capital. And so it is a model for what could happen throughout the entire nation. Transportation is supposed to connect people and places and economies, and that's certainly what the Beltway does for the region here. But as we see with the new hot lanes, we're also looking for new ways to make those connections better. There are a couple of very important achievements that I think I need to recognize today as we move forward. One is the ability to reduce congestion on this very important road by offering safe transportation choices, as was mentioned earlier. We fully expect that these hot lanes are going to encourage ride sharing, carpooling, and the use of mass transit. Whether people choose to use the hot lanes or stay in the regular lanes, they can expect a less congested and a more reliable trip. That means people will spend less time stuck in traffic. They'll have easier access to local businesses, and of course, we will all be using less fuel. The second important achievement is the novel way in which the project was financed. Very creative, very innovative. There's no doubt that with government resources being very limited in today's world, we're going to see more public-private partnerships for major projects like the one here today. As you probably know, in addition to $300 million in federal aid, this project also received a $589 million loan through our TIFIA loan program, which is part of the overall funding or financing package here. It's a great example of what TIFIA was designed to do. And TIFIA really has been a very popular program throughout the entire nation. It's helping projects, big projects like this one, move forward more quickly than they would if we relied on a conventional funding approach. In fact, our new transportation bill, MAP 21, contains a major expansion of the TIFIA loan program, making it the largest transportation infrastructure loan program in history. And we're not wasting any time putting that program into play. We're already getting a tremendous response on the program. Between the time that the President signed MAP 21 in early July and now, we've already received 21 letters of interest for the TIFIA loan program. That goes to show the competitive nature of the program itself, but really also an indicator of the need that's out there when it comes to transportation. But TIFIA is just one part of MAP 21. The new bill funds our highway programs for 2 years, which is very, very critical to all of us, giving us hope that we'll see projects getting started across the country so that we can create jobs today and continue our economic recovery. In addition, as the governor mentioned, as I was milling around earlier today talking to a few people, one of the things that I talked about through everything that I do is about results. And as we were looking at some of our sessions, we talked about involving the small business community. And this project certainly does. I understand there's hundreds of small businesses that were engaged in the project at some level or another. Also, our disadvantaged business program actually reached a pretty high mark there, 15.2%, if I understand correctly, which is really, really incredible, Governor. And we'll continue to look at that, not only here, but throughout the nation, getting small business, the job creators engaged in everything we do.
As has been mentioned by the governor and many others, this is a long time in coming. Over 10 years of planning, environmental review, and public input. As a result, we have a project that's evolved over time into one that the community has accepted with open arms. In fact, it was way back in 2005, an administration and 7 General Assembly sessions ago, that the CTB actually selected the Hot Lanes project as the locally preferred alternative. These things take a lot of time, as all of you in the room know, but the end result is certainly worth it. Everyone in the region will benefit from this project. Our motorists benefit who aren't using the hot lanes as much as those who are using the hot lanes, as this frees up capacity in the general travel lanes and helps flow on the Capital Beltway. Our express lane users, of course, will find a new choice in ways to get around the region in a much quicker fashion. Carpoolers, and perhaps most importantly, carpoolers and mass transit users are big winners in this project, as the HOV option opens up a new way of carpooling in a cost-effective and time-sensitive way around the Capital Beltway, really for the first time. In addition to that, our public transit users will benefit from this project, and we at the local level in Fairfax County have developed a robust bus plan to get buses into these express lanes and provide that option to people through mass communication and outreach in the community. In fact, a few months from now, we'll be adding additional bus lane service from Burke, Tyson, Springfield, and Lorton to the Tysons Corner area on our express lanes. We know these routes will work because study after study has shown that if you provide a time benefit to people, they will use that mode of transportation. Our long-term solutions in Northern Virginia, we know, rely on a robust transit and carpool network. The community also benefits from this project. The project will support our region's economic prosperity, unclog one of our busiest commuter routes in the country, and provide better access to our business hub in Tysons Corner. The express lanes will also help cut through traffic in our neighborhoods around the Beltway. Too many of our communities over the years have felt like they've become an expressway for traffic trying to avoid the Capitol Beltway gridlock, and with this project they will see some relief. As you know and have heard, a lot went into this project, 70,000 linear feet of sound wall, valued at over $33 million to protect our neighbors in Fairfax County from noise on the newly widened Beltway. This triples the amount of noise protection that existed before the start of the project. Protecting the environment was an important part of this project. During the past few years, the Express Lanes team worked with our local elected officials, state elected officials, staff, and community members, and the Fairfax County Restoration Project to develop the corridor-wide landscaping and reforestation plan with this project. The Commonwealth, with the support of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, allocated $5 million to prepare and implement the corridor landscaping plan. 21 different species of trees and 16 different species of grass mixtures will be planted for the environment. Bike and pedestrian improvements are also an important part of the project, and you'll see them on all major Beltway crossings. Lastly, I want to thank and congratulate everyone who helped make this project a success, who patiently waited through construction, unnecessary in many ways inconveniences, but first and foremost, the residents of this county who live and drive anywhere near the Beltway, who endured this construction. The end of the county that I represent lived through the Springfield Mixing Bowl project, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge project, and they were painful, but the end result speaks for itself. We need this type of transportation progress in the region. A few years of pain hopefully will develop into long-term gain for our residents in the county. To the construction workers who worked on this project, who labor in less than ideal conditions today, as we looked in the rain, as they were out there putting the finishing touches on the project, these men and women are working in an environment where I suspect on a few occasions, a few people might actually even be exceeding the speed limit through the work zone, but that's just a guess. But these folks put their life on the line, and the safety record of this project, second to none in protecting workers and the workplace in the county. To the Fairfax County Restoration Project, which I mentioned earlier, this group of citizens and county staff helped develop a lot of the environmental components of this plan that will make this long-term this improvement much more palatable for the communities. The project management team, of course, Transurban, Floor Lane, the Virginia Department of Transportation, and all of their consultants who worked on this project, our County Department of Transportation, the Virginia State Police, and Fairfax County Police, they all spent countless hours keeping the citizens informed of upcoming schedules and construction. And I got to tell you, the communications team that worked on this project was among the best we have ever seen, and making sure our residents knew what was happening, when to avoid the area, and hopefully as this project gets implemented, that same communication strategy will make sure this is an economic success. The team kept the project on track and delivered on schedule. So with that, I would like to congratulate everyone who worked on this project. This reinforces our image in Fairfax County as being a center of innovation, a county that is always open for business, and infrastructure, of course, is necessary to support that climate that we're proud to be in here in Fairfax County. So congratulations to all of you for your help on this important project.
So I've been doing this for 25 years around the world in different guises, public-private partnerships, big construction projects, Middle East, China, Singapore, South America, and I've never seen such a big reception and a big partnership like I've seen today. So maybe we should look at our global headquarters as Virginia instead of elsewhere. So I'll make a few comments. Hopefully you can, you'll hear my Texas accent through this, and I do have to raise the Texas A&M Alabama game because it's been a long time since Texas A&M's done anything. It's been a big drought. It's been a big drought. But obviously Northern Virginia is a fantastic and a world-class region, and it deserves this world-class transportation system. Obviously it means efficient roads and public transit options. And it means putting technology to work, as the Secretary talked about, and obviously actively managing the traffic across the entire network and providing these choices for these traffic-choked commuters. So Transurban, we're an owner and operator of toll roads, and we're very proud to have worked alongside Virginia to deliver this transportation solution that will keep this region moving forward and, of course, make this continue to be a great place to live. And on behalf of Transurban and the men and women of Transurban, as I said, I'm the new CEO, so I get to take the credit of all the hard work that's been done for the last 6 or 7 years by many of the people that are in this room, and also our partner in Fluor. I want to thank Commissioner Worley in particular, and VDOT for your partnership. You took a big leap, and it was a big vision there, and tried something very innovative, and we particularly value your trust in us. So thank you very much, Commissioner. I also want to recognize our partners at Fluor. I've spent my career in infrastructure, and I can tell you that projects of this size and complexity hardly ever end up early, and certainly hardly ever end up on budget. So all credit to the team, and that's not by accident. Transurban, Fluor, and VDOT were able to form a partnership that worked together to resolve some very tough issues and kept this project moving forward. And each member of the team came to work every single day, obviously with one thing in mind as well, and that was safety. And this project has an extraordinary record on safety, which everyone can be proud of, and I think that deserves an applause. I want to also thank the community and our partners there. Construction was not easy, and you demonstrated some extraordinary patience. You left work obviously a little bit earlier. You helped us push information out to all the employees. You put away your cell phones to keep our workers safe. You planted trees with us. You helped clean up parks with us. And many of you biked to work with some of us as well. I think it's important to know that this week in Northern Virginia will join some other great cities of the world like Singapore and London in using some very advanced tolling strategies and managing traffic demand. And I was speaking to the governor earlier. We've got major investors in our company around the world, and I travel around the world to talk to them. And all their eyes are on Virginia this weekend. These people invest in major projects globally, and they are fascinated and are watching with great interest what's happening in Virginia. And I think, again, taking a leading stage in the global perspective on what's happening here, Governor. It's obviously going to be the beginning of a faster and more reliable trip for the Beltway travelers, but it's also a new beginning and journey for the region as government and the private sector come together to put the latest transport strategies to work to keep people and the economy of Northern Virginia moving forward. So again, on behalf of Transurban and Fluor, I would like to thank Virginia, the federal government, and everyone for their help in delivering this project.
Governor, would you like to do the countdown, sir?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. She's open.
All right, John.